You have to want anything, and if you don't want it, you may never achieve it simply because that level of want is too low. I noticed that the coast had a bad habit of accepting mediocrity, and I felt that that was the wrong attitude. And that was a personal view, but one I shared with a good friend of mine at the time, and still is a good friend, Edgar Adams, who obviously runs Central Coast Business Review. So the Central Coast Business Excellence Awards were really born out of a little bit of frustration. And we're in our 4th year, and each year it's really about identifying local businesses, those that are located on the Central Coast, those that have chosen to live and work on the Central Coast, with the single aim of highlighting not only them as a business, but highlighting the Central Coast as a region. We always talk about how many people travel or leave the Central Coast as a whole. If businesses aspiring to be better, if businesses looking to how it can improve itself all the time, the wider community becomes the benefactor by not just the greater chance of employment, but more importantly, for many, the greater level of service. We still talk about 21,500 businesses on the Central Coast. Of 17,000 of that are at least 4 staff or less. So it's dominated by small business, and small business has a great opportunity at these awards. One of the highlights for me is the identification of some of the businesses that are located on the Central Coast. I mean, even with Trendpack that employs 200 people, 90% of the audience had never heard of Trendpack before, were unaware that they were a family-owned business, certainly that they didn't employ 200 people, and what a great success story. And other little gems like Bub's Customs that are based up at Carry-On. 3 guys that all had trades who decided to go into modifying Harley Davidsons, received them from all over Australia, never had one complaint to date. So some businesses have used the awards as a catalyst for actually reviewing why they're in business in the first place. Even with the nominations for the Excellence Awards prompts business to have a look at itself, that internalisation, so it can review where it came from, it can review where it's at, and it can then have a look into the future and see what it needs to do. Recognition tells you as a business whether the paths that you've chosen have been the right or the wrong paths. Without our sponsors and supporters, the event's not possible. We formed an alliance with the New South Wales Business Chamber, which has worked out very, very well indeed. The winners of our categories become automatic finalists in the New South Wales Business Chamber State Awards. And we've had great success in the first 2 years of that alliance, with Independent Portable Buildings going on to win Excellence in Small Business. And last year, Christy Lee Billett won our Young Entrepreneur and then went on and won the state version of that same title. So we believe that the Business Excellence Awards and the recognition that comes with that is almost a signpost to say we're on the pathway to greater success.